Well, new this morning, the Environmental Protection Agency says it will serve as the lead agency on site of the fire at Smitty's. Before this, Smitty's Supply Inc. said it was coordinating first responder efforts.
That's right. The EPA says it's mobilizing emergency rapid response service contractors to help with this transition. So the EPA says it's containing any remaining on-site hazardous materials and recovering unburned material from ditches, ponds, and the Tangipahoa River. Meanwhile, the Tangipahoa River between highways 10 and 22 is closed to all marine traffic. State Police says as of last night, the fire is 90% contained, and the evacuation of a 1-mile radius is also still in place.
Well, Josh Robertson joins us live with details on this explosion. And also, Josh, you were just informing us that you have reached out and heard back from the EPA. What have they told you?
Well, Lucy, we're here in Amite City right now in front of the EOC building, which is essentially their emergency operations center. What they would use, all agencies would come to this building if there were a major storm, a major hurricane. But with the Smitty fire in Roseland, which is just north of Amite here, they're using this building for the same exact reason. Now, you mentioned EPA. I did just speak to them. They're in a meeting right now, but the spokesperson is inside of this building. I did just speak to them on the phone, and they are working on having somebody come out and speak to us so that we can ask some of those questions that I know residents in this area here desperately want to know. Now, we have video, but before we take that, don't take it just yet. I do want to show you something. This is one of the vehicles that's parked out here right now. Now, this vehicle right here is a great example of what happened as a result of that fire in Roseland. The day after, we know that many people experienced this right here. Now, obviously, we don't know. This might be an emergency vehicle. It might be somebody who works with one of the agencies, but this is the soot. This is the oily residue that fell on many of the vehicles that were really close to the Smitty supply facility there after that explosion happened and that giant plume of black smoke went into the air. Now, if we have the video now, you can go ahead and take it. But speaking to, again, the agencies here, I did go inside briefly. They've got a whole command center in there right now with tables, each agency designated to a spot, and they're all working in tandem right now. Now, you mentioned the contractors, too. We were out earlier near Roseland, near the Tangipahoa River, which is an area where some of that soot, some of that oily residue did make it into the Tangipahoa River. They've put in booms to try to block that from spreading too far, and then they're actually pumping the water out of the Tangipahoa Parish River and pumping it all the way to Smitty's, where they are still dousing that area with water and foam so that it does not reignite in any kind of a way. They know that with that oil all on the ground, they said when it's hot, it can easily spark, it can easily reignite. So they're continuing to douse that. They're staying right on top of it, containing that as much as they can. But the mayor is somebody who we've spoken to the past couple of days too in Roseland, Mayor Van Showers. He says that he has been pretty frustrated, like many of the residents, having to leave their home. But he also says that 1-mile radius to him, he believes, the mayor says he does not believe that is big enough. That is not a big enough evacuation area for him. He says his own home is outside of that evacuation zone. It had oil and soot that fell on his property. We've gotten many people outside of that evacuation zone who have said the same thing, and they have questions about water quality, air quality, obvious questions that they just want to know the answers to, and we are working to get that as fast as we can here from the EPA. So as soon as we learn something, I know they're in a meeting right now. They hope to have something for us. I know speaking with the spokesperson, he did tell me that they are waiting right now on water samples to come back. He said they're waiting for those to come back before they can give any kind of definitive answer. But I did say, a lot of people are obviously concerned, even if they live outside of that evacuation zone. A lot of wells up here in Tangipahoa Parish, people want to know if their water is safe to consume or safe to use. A lot of farm animals, too, a lot of wildlife. So a lot to keep an eye on, and we'll do that for you. And as soon as we get an update, we'll bring it to you. But for now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.